5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, this is it. It's the Romello Marcellus Show. The fly uncle you always wish you had. Bring them out. Here to give you every aspect of game from a real player's perspective. It's the biggest boss from business, entertainment, love, and life.
Had to find my inner power.
To fashion, etiquette, and current events. Major show alert. All to enhance the happiness already inside you.
Today is about the power of you.
Check it out.
You're now rocking with the best.
Here I am, goddammit. Here I am. Welcome to the Romello Marcellus Show. I am he, and goddammit, you know the rest. Here we go. Here we go. You know, some folks get in the room or actually join the show. Yeah. It is wonderful, a wonderful day. If you're alive, you got your health and strength, your sound mind and body. Hey, man. What more can you ask for? What more can you ask for? You got health, you got strength, you know? Can you hear the music? Is it too loud, or should I, let me adjust this. All right. How's that? That better? All right. Let me know if you're in the room, man. Throw some thumbs up, man, before we get to taking off and doing this thing like we're supposed to do it. You know, while we waiting, man, I'll get into a few things. You know the guy, well, I mean, this is from a few days ago, but, well, I'm gonna talk about it anyway. These reality quote unquote stars or celebs, man, they live a normal life, but they can't seem to stay away from the trouble. Seems like oh shit from Black Ink, man. He got some serious trouble going on. He got arrested for DWI or DUI down in Georgia and cocaine possession, man. I wish the best for him. You know, those guys been going through it. Caesar just I guess he just got hit for the animal cruelty thing. But hey, normal people just like everybody else. Seems that you know, a lot of us get blinded by the TV. Yeah. Listen, this guy's always on the radar, man, when it comes to doing something for someone else. It seems like. Seems Dennis Rodman, he's got the permission to go over to Russia to kind of advocate for Brittany Griner's release. So I guess he's going. As of about 3 or 4 hours ago, he's got the permission to do so. Man, hopefully he can get that girl back, man. She's in a tough spot. Tough spot. Seems Nene Leakes has dropped her lawsuit against Bravo and Andy Cohen for the discrimination aspect of whatever that case she was filing for. But hey, easy come, easy go. I guess if you don't have a case, you got to get a case. Football season's coming up, man, and I know a lot of you parents have kids that are playing football. You know, you little guys, little tykes. It's a sad thing, man, when you can't go watch your babies play, and grown ass motherfuckers can't conduct themselves in a manner becoming of being in a state or a place where children are. I don't know whether you saw a few days ago where there was a discrepancy over a children's football game and adults got involved and there was some gunplay. Prayers go out to the coach's family and all those that were involved, that they seek some sort of clarity. But yeah, man, god damn, shouldn't be bringing no guns to no kids football game. You got to do that shit, man. Stay your ass somewhere else. That's why even going to these events now, man, nowadays is more of a liability than it ever has been, because you don't know what jokers is on and what they've done and who they're ducking, and you know you'd be standing there really just having a good time and become shit a victim of circumstance. Yeah, just another piece of collateral damage. But they had the guy in question who actually did the shooting. And there's this football, I think his name was Abdul Talib. He used to play for the Rams. They're trying to seek and see whether or not he has some sort of, you know, some sort of culpability for that incident. Yeah, man. Oh, ladies, watch yourselves. There was a thing out, and it's actually going on, and I think it's still going. It's happening If you're leaving places, man, check your car doors, check the rear of your car to make sure there's nothing hanging on your car, nothing that you didn't put there, no marks on your tires, any of that kind of thing. Because it seems like the sex trafficking thing is, or organ stealing thing is taking off, regardless of what it is. It's some sort of scheme to accost you and take you away. Um, there was a video that was put out earlier where a young lady was leaving. I think it was a daycare with her child, and a guy was following her around for about an hour. Get back to the car, and there's some sort of tissue or things hanging from the car. So be mindful. Be mindful and be aware of your surroundings. If you see anything crazy, hey man, say something immediately, or be willing to challenge that individual right there on the spot, because a lot of times those are spotters for those people that are willing to come and do the work. All right. So yeah, just be safe, be mindful. All right. Um, if y'all logging on tonight, man, and you like the show, as I always do, I gotta handle my business. Follow me on YouTube. Follow me on YouTube. Mm-hmm. Smash the like, hit the subscribe, pluck the bell. Also on Instagram, double tap me. Got any show ideas for any of this, man? Leave it in the comments. Facebook. Also follow me. And you see that last thing there? Share. If you're on here tonight, man, look at the bottom of the screen about right here, or excuse me, right here, and hit that share button. Share it, man. Let's broaden the topic. Let's broaden the conversation. And if you're on Facebook tonight, man, or any of the other ones, if you're on Twitter, if you're on IG, you're only gonna get 10 minutes of this broadcast, and then you're gonna have to switch over to YouTube. So you might as well go and do it. All right? Yeah. Um, Not to hold it up, man, too long. I'm like this. Look, I had a brain fart. This is what it is. A lot of us, we talk about the masculine energy that black women have, and the controlling nature and the boss nature that they have. And we go into this whole beating our chests and roaring and jumping up and down and acting like fools. And, we got to lift the weights, and we in the gym, and we ain't taking no mess off of you, and all of that. What I want to do is I want to crack the shell on this. The topic tonight, if you're just joining the show, is honestly, do we as black men know what to do or how to treat a black woman who submits? That is the question. If you're just joining the show tonight, and if you think this is an interesting topic, man, share it. Share it right now. Share it with your friends, share it with your family. Let's have this talk. Honestly, do we as black men know what to do or how to treat a black woman who submits? That is a serious question. When we talk about it, man, listen, everywhere in the world that we go to, anywhere you could think of, you put a finger on the map, they have a difference in culture. We as foundational black Americans, we lack an understanding of what our culture was, because it's been so distorted and taken from us, robbed of us. We've been taken from our names, our families, our heritage. We've been given other people's names, other people's languages, other people's traditions, all of that shit. Even to the point where at every turn, there was always some sort of plant or nuclei in the midst of us to keep us guided down that path. As men, before we were men, we were boys. Okay? As young boys and young babies, the majority of us in this country as black men have come up in single family households, i.e., mamas running the house. Okay? You can only grow and go on what you've seen. Okay? Now, here's the other actionable part of this lack of knowing what to do and dealing with someone who understands what it is to submit, and then dealing with the other side of the trust situations that we as black men deal with. This is just my opinion, but I'm basing my opinion on experience. Through the eyes of young men, we see the actions of women, okay, and always have, whether it's good and kind or deceitful and destructive by nature. From birth, mother's the first teacher, okay? Also, dealing with the layers of the things that we were taught and told that we would be as men. As young ladies, you are taught 9 times out of 10, one or two things that we are only good for, or our positions are, or what your position should be to deal with us. One is to be careful, and the other is that we're a tool. We're to be used. We're to serve a purpose, whether to provide, keep, or protect. Okay? And when I say use, to supply living needs like shelter, food, etc. And the fear comes from the aspect of the hypersexualization, or that thing where we're dealing with, yeah, we only want sex. We only want your body. We don't want you or your mind or your heart. We don't want to get to know you. We're not willing to take the time to do that. But when we look at our culture, if a young man is raised by a woman and that's all he sees in the house, he's going to deal with a woman the way a woman deals with a woman, not how a man deals with a woman. Okay? Now, a lot of you, this might have gone over you guys' head, but a woman's going to take care of her home. If she has an ounce of dignity and self worth about herself, she's going to take care of her children. She'll know where her pennies are. She'll know where every last bean is. Also, you're not going to play with her on no level, especially if you're not a if you're another woman. She's going to be ready to throw down with you in a heartbeat. She will cuss you up and down, and yeah, you have a force to be reckoned with. But you have a young guy, a young boy, who experiences all of these levels of a woman before he becomes a man, or what he thinks is a man. Okay, our culture, or the culture that we have been allotted to live in or squalor in, is been driven by mostly seeing of women in dominant spaces and places. Okay, in this country, you've always worked. You've always been in the workforce, whether you were a sharecropper, whether you were a machine worker, whether you were a nurse, or a domestic servant, whatever it is, woman, you've always worked. And there's been those times where you didn't see the black man working because he was kept out of the workforce intently so that he wouldn't be in the house, which further drove this wedge between us now that we're constantly fighting on platforms like this, like fools, without recognizing what caused the hurt, and recognizing where we need the healing. We can't heal. We can go back and forth and talk about, oh, she ain't prepared for this, or he ain't that, or he's not doing this, or he ain't crap, or he ain't this, and so on and so on and so on. And everybody's on the turn up, and no one's benefiting. We're the only race and culture in the world that has been bred to believe that we don't need one another, starting with our women, because, as I said, retrospectively, it goes back to what is the first teacher that was in the household. 9 times out of 10, in this country, in this state and place, it was a woman in the dominant role, playing dual roles. Now, when we talk about relationships in dealing with men or males as you see them today, who were children in this last two, I guess, segments of generations, whether it was a Generation Xer or a millennial, we look at these things, right? As a young guy, he never saw his mom be submissive to another man. I can promise you, to his detriment. Rarely saw her be soft. And here's the biggest part that plays into the communication aspect of most relationships nowadays, where you may have guys who may have your best intention at heart, but they can't communicate with you wholeheartedly because In a lot of ways, you know what, abuse long lasts a lot longer than anything. Verbal abuse, mental abuse is forever. You can heal from some things, you can forget, but you know, it'll always be a part of you, and there's triggers, okay, that will put you in a position to act out or act in a way, in a manner that is not going to benefit you. Okay, here's an example, right? Let's say you got a son. He's 5 years old. He wets the bed. You spank him. You don't know why he's wetting the bed. He might be scared as hell to get out of the bed at night. He may have seen a movie and scared to walk down the hall to take, to use the bathroom. Anything. He could have weak bladder. He could sleep hard. He could have been tired from the day. There's a lot of different things, but you spank him. So now you got a baby who 9 times out of 10 who's scared to go to bed because he's scared that he's gonna piss in the bed and he's gonna get a spanking in the morning by you, the mother. Tired of washing the sheets. I'm tired of you pissing up the bed. I'm tired of smelling that piss. I'm tired. I'm tired. I'm tired. Then we go to other aspects of life as he moves along. Okay, so let's just say you all are on a fixed income in the house. You may have certain things set aside in your refrigerator, and you may have things to say, well, ask me if you want to touch that, or you want those little sippy cup, ask me, you know. But he goes and gets it. You tear his ass up. Now, anything else he touches in that house, he's going to deny he touched it because he doesn't want the ass whipping. But more so, here's the bigger part of it. Because of all of the verbal abuse and the lashing, he's afraid to even talk to you about anything. So the communication is gone from a young age. And he carries this shit into his adulthood where things that um, may not be that fucking bad, but because he doesn't want to hear the shit from his woman, he's not going to talk about it. He'll let it go. He'll deal with it himself. And then it goes back to the duality when we talk about the two things or the two positions or the belief systems that we are to you guys. Black men are very, 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 very particular and usually not willing to share their deepest thoughts with you guys because as we grow older, we understand that there's always going to be that level of scrutiny there. Oh, why are you doing that? Why the fuck are you in the gym now for? Or why you want to start that business? Or, that ain't good for you. Or why you going over there? Those are the conversations that remind him of mama. And this is where you are either going to get the omissions, the lie. He don't want to talk to you because he don't want to hear the shit. And he may very well not be running afoul to you. He may be very well in his purpose and just doesn't want to jeopardize it. But now as we go forward, right? These other things, right? We talk about um, the seeds that have been planted in this young guy. Now he's an older man and he's still carrying these things, right? Don't you know that fucks with his confidence? Puts him in all kinds of different emotional states of mind where he's dealing with you, just like I said, as his mother would deal with a woman. He's willing to cuss your ass out. He's willing to, you know, deal with you like you would deal with a woman. And it's just that. And always on the need to protect or defend something. Yeah. Um, I'm saying this to say that when you have these traits or these things going on with you as a man, it is hard to be in a space and place of offense to push the ball down the field when you find a woman who is not like your mother and willing to submit to who you are as a king, as a leader, as a provider. But then we flop back to what the world's been teaching us as men and women. Okay, as men, we're taught to be soft, subtle, giving, you know, nurturing, um, how do I say it? Always offering words of affirmation. We got to confirm our position with you, you know? And it's a sad thing that we've been taught to do that as opposed to being taught to take the initiative to be a leader, to be a king. I don't care where you go. If you look at any culture, a king doesn't seek his queen's approval to run his fucking kingdom. We look at the day and age we live in right now, right? Okay, here we go. When we talk about domestic violence or we talk about certain aspects of things, if you Google it, you'll see a man pop up, not a woman. But in this day and age, you have so many women doing things. Like prime example, you see the little African guy that got stabbed up by the OnlyFans white chick. But before that, you see her whipping his ass in the elevator. But if that man had acted out and broke her fucking jaw in the elevator, oh, he'd have been a bitch ass nigga. He'd have been all of that. So these are the tug of wars that we're dealing with when we don't see what we should be seeing. So when we finally get to the big dance, we don't know how to two step. We fake it, we wing it, you know. As long as it's good, we can try and um I say maintain you or keep you as long as we can until the jig is up. And usually that always happens at some point in time where it's not beneficial to you or us. And 9 times out of 10, you guys are the ones that are going to walk, not us. Mm. You know, I used to say some stupid ass shit, right? And I think that a lot of us said, "Oh, I love hard." No, motherfucker, you empty. Because loving hard means you're going to accept some things that you're not willing or normally wouldn't accept if you were up on your game with yourself. Okay. So, I'm just saying that when we are growing as men and we find a woman who submit or willing to submit to us in our relationship, doesn't mean control, but to deal with us because they recognize that we do have their best interest at heart, our best interest at heart. We're there. We're going to protect them. We're going to do the best we can do to provide. We're going to, keep them, admire them. They're the apple of our eye. But then there's all of this baggage, this PTSD shit that we didn't unload, you know, watching mama. A lot of us watch mama do the best she could do. But mama had to be hard because the world was hard on her, you know, whether she was working 4 jobs or getting it because she was getting up off her back to get it. You feel me? Yeah. And these are the lessons that we learn as young men. And to watch mama get it off her back puts a whole nother spin and dynamic on what a man sees in a woman, that this is her nature, when all actuality, it's not all women's nature. Now, y'all carry that deceit trait. It becomes a matter of whether you utilize it or not, or whether the motherfucker got his antennas on and can recognize the hot and cold play that you guys do, and the tests and all of that. You know what you do. But if he's confused to any of that because he's not confident in himself and he's empty, he's not going to know how to deal with you. He's going to deal with you like mama would deal with a woman. Yeah. Both of you motherfuckers running and running a finish line race. Yeah. It's I guess in other cultures, right? Okay. You have the prearranged and prefixed relations and stuff like that with different cultures where there's never a question of where the pecking order lies in that relationship or that marriage or that bond, right? But with us, shit, we don't have any of that. And we talk about those people who have who kind of look like us and have been willing to do certain things to assure that their seeds would succeed. I ain't no boule motherfucker, but what I have done, and I have done my studies on them, the gatekeepers and all of that shit. You know, I do buy into. I don't give a shit where you are, who you are, the preservation of your seed or your people. You know, um, but not while hurting others is basically what I'm saying. If that's your choice and you want to, have a situation where you're able to match your daughter with a solid young man who's come up in a certain era and time and certain upbringing, then you know so be that, whatever that is. But yeah, man, a lot of us are fucked up, still carrying a lot of baggage and weight, you know from our childhood. Your childhood does mold you sometimes into who you become. It's not necessarily who you are, because I do believe that people can change. Now you have those who are pessimists and say, "Well, no, people can't change." That's bullshit. You can do anything you want to do. You can be a crack addict. You can be a whatever, whatever your addiction is, your hang up is. When you finally decide in your spirit and your mind that you don't want it anymore, you can change. You can drop it like it never existed. When we talk about marriage and submission, you know, um, marriage and relationships, or excuse me, marriage was supposed to be a covenant established to have a duality between two loving people to carry out their purpose or their divine assignments in the world together while making shit easier. Man ain't supposed to live by bread alone. Bread ain't gonna get it. It needs some goddamn meat. Need to be warm in the winter, you know. But I don't want no fucking mouth. You know, the word all also says that, even as a man, it's better to him for him to live on a fucking roof than to live in a house with an angry ass woman. Yeah, always yakking. But then we go back, like I said to you before. If he's expecting that contention, what does he do when he receives submission? Some things you just can't dial back. Look here, I'm having this conversation, right? I'm trying to see if I'm on point, but you know, for all intents and purposes, here's what I'm gonna do, because hey, you want to call in, man? You got something you want to say to me? Phone lines open. Area code 929-322-3971. Let me know if I'm on point, or do I need to tweak my thoughts or my projected opinions? Yeah, the line's open. And once again, man, if you like the show and you're on here, look, by all means, follow me on YouTube. Click the subscribe button, smash the bell, pluck the like, leave it in the comments. All right. Also, man, follow me on Instagram. Double tap me. Let me know you came through. Don't just show up and disappear. Trust me, it'll come out in the wash, just like Tide. Yeah. Facebook. Yeah. Just know, I'm coming from a place of love, man. And we need understanding. We need some growth. We need, you know, we need a reset. We need to instill value in ourselves, and not continuing to be caught out there falling for the old banana in the tailpipe. Because these people put things in play about us years ago to keep us apart. You know, yeah. And it's a shame that we're in a world now where, as our people are the only ones that's really being played, and being played on the center stage, whether it's the lack of sanctification. We just willy nilly with ourselves. Everything's about to turn up. Everything's about the twerk. Everything's about the cash I got in my pocket. You know what I mean? And these are mama's boys. that's doing this shit. All the little rappers, these mama's boys. This is why these motherfuckers is crashing out the way they are now. You know, they got to be shooting each other. They got to be, proving all of that bullshit that they doing. Like these crash dummies down here on this conspiracy. Come on, man. You making all the motherfucking money that those who created that lane for you had never seen and will never see. They will close their eyes and never see a fraction of what you are receiving, but you still want to drive around and do dumb shit. Yeah. Oh, my brother down in A said, I'll tell you what, you and her find one another. She better not tell those men hating, angry women that is torn down and broken from past encounters in their regretted relationships. A good, loving, drama free, submissive woman must not ever surround herself in those family or social confidants. It's a disastrous situation, or excuse me, it's a disastrous decision. The probability of that good woman changing is highly likely. Sad, but so true. Hey, perspectives, man. Can't knock them. Everybody has them. Everybody's experiences are different. Yeah. Like I said, man, the phone line's open if you want to call in. It's 929-322-3971. The topic tonight, if you're just joining the show, is honestly, do we as black men know what to do or how to treat a woman who submits? Um, you know, I'll say this, man. A woman that submits has already made the decision that she wants to grow spiritually with someone, mentally, and consummate physically. Recognizing the difference between men and women is this: we must connect with women on a spiritual plane. So we must adhere the mind and the spirit. The body will follow. Um, Dealing with me is hard. Let me speak for me. God damn it! I said I would never do it. I'm an aggressive motherfucker, and I'm not saying it in the way that I'm rah rah, but I'm just one of those guys. When I said, okay, here we go. Give you an example. When I talk about those guys who've actually been masters of their universe and earners and that kind of shit, they're not nice people because their lack of consideration of those around them is not important or more important to the provision of said energies to create the world that we live in. So I'm one of those people who's willing to leave his family for 4, 5, 6 months. They're going to make that shit happen so that I can take off 4, 5, 6 months, 7, 8 months based on my work or the sweat equity that I put in. So when I deal with certain aspects of relationships, some things it does this to me. I don't it, it's like love you. See what I mean? That it mutes out. But then there are those who are willing to dig in and take that breath, pause, and allow themselves to be led. And that's cool too if that's your thing. But I don't come from that. You know, I want some shit. And I know that sometimes it takes sacrifice. So for me, I need someone who's going to be an intern, going to fuck with me on what I'm doing. And, a lot of my mind is constantly going. So I don't have answers readily available for the shit I'm doing. Because my shit right here is going, I can't tell you what I'm doing in the next hour or the next, you know, that's not my thing. I'm not wired like that. I'm like a shark. It never, even in my sleep, I'm twitching because I'm thinking. But that drive, that that aggression sometimes plays out in my responses to who in my relationship. And so it's like, well, damn, how do you manage that? And there's times where I'm like, fuck that shit. I ain't managing nothing. I got to get this money. I gotta do what I gotta do. The vig's not gonna stop based on some motherfucking love, and that's some man shit because I saw my father move that way. I saw my uncles move that way. You know, got to go to work. Got to work. Got to do what I got to do. I got time for hearing this bullshit because trust me, the lights out, motherfuckers sitting on the curb. Shit, we gonna be having a different conversation, and that's that. But it doesn't make it right when you find someone who's willing to submit. Submission means that they're willing to help you bear your cross if it's nothing but morally and mentally. So, you know, I'll be the first to say, hey man, I got work to do. I'm working on me, you know. I got some healing to do. I got some shit to work through. We all do. Not perfect. Not perfect. Now, am I willing to go do therapy and have somebody fuck with my mind based on their opinions? Fuck no. I ain't doing that. I'm good. I know myself enough to really take the time to sit back and recognize the adjustments that need to be made and prioritize things differently. Someone said, we as black men have been through so damn much. It makes it questionable if we're capable. Our past even keeps us from trusting that woman or even ourselves to give in 100%, to truly trust and love responsibly. It's real, but it's very costly in a man's ways, in many ways, excuse me. Yeah. Hey, I'm wholeheartedly right on it with that. I mean, when we talk about the trust thing, it goes back to, like I said before, retrospectively, the things that we've seen and we've experienced, you know, um, it's kind of, as I talk about the one-sided nature or culture in the world we live in, where there's a one-sided aggression in most relationships, and it's usually the woman who can push the button on the man and dare him to do something. Well, I don't buy that brand. I think that, well, here's what I was taught. A woman will always keep it ladylike and never put herself in a position to be aggressed or dealt with like a man. Yeah. And in all our actions, there are consequences. Okay. Let me say this to my fellas. If this is in any way you, anything that I've described this evening, man, go pray about it. Get on your face. Ask God to give you the strength to deliver you from the things that you've seen and ask that your eyes be renewed and you get a reset. Okay. Thank you, bro. Thank you, bro. Yeah. I love you too, man. Hey, look, we need to help. A lot of us are not getting it and we don't know where to get it. And you got all of these bullshit ass clout chasers that are online talking about, yeah, if a man does what he's supposed, man, what the fuck is he supposed to do if he doesn't know what to do? You know, guys talking all this shit. I mean, listen, a lot of these people do this shit for different reasons. I'm doing this because I really fucking care. I ain't doing this for no money. I ain't doing this for no ass. I ain't doing this for no fucking validation. Man, listen, I don't care if nobody ever click like on this motherfucker. I'm still doing it because that's what I believe in my heart. We all are in positions that we need a leg up and we need to have a dose of patience with one another, understanding. No one says be a fool. No one says, hey, look, this is the end all to be all. It's just that when we doing things, we have to be responsible um, with what we're doing. So You know, we're in a tough spot as black folk, man, in our relationships. And if our relationships continue to suffer, our children will continue to suffer because they will always miss something and they will fall prey to it as they grow older. And older means younger nowadays because the information is traveling so fast. You can't protect your children from all of it, man. Whether it's TikTok, whether it's this shit, whether it's YouTube, whether it's fucking Twitter, whatever it is. And now here's the thing. You have these kids on Twitch playing games, and they're all over the world talking to each other, sitting there for hours playing games. I'm going to tell you what one thing that got me, and it let me know that there are no conversations off limits on that platform. I posted an image and fuck Facebook for doing this shit. Um, there was a kid on there, and he was taken advantage by his uncle. All right. Now I put the post up, and I basically stated, "Hey, not all heroes wear capes and badges." Here you got two kids, they playing the game, and you hear one of the guys, little kids, come to find out he was special needs. So he was using the TDA to type, and it has a vocal to it. So this little black kid, and I don't know, you couldn't see the other kid, the kid. And he said, yeah, he asked him, he said, "Are you all right?" The black kid asked the kid, "Are you okay?" And he was like, "No," typed him no. And he said, "My uncle um, made me, let him touch me to play the game." And then the little black kid went into saying, "Well, damn, wow, really? Like, really, that happened?" And then he got the acknowledgement of saying yes. So the black kid said, "Fuck this shit. I'm going to call the police." So he called. They weren't in the same state at all. I don't know where the black kid was, but the other kid was in New York. So they went through the motion to try and, you know, put him in the right, direction to or file the report or make the report to have someone go out and do a welfare check. But I'm saying this to say that there are a lot of underlying things that have gone on with a lot of us before we become adults, and how we conduct ourselves or go into protective mode to protect our feelings, our hearts and minds, and to guard our confidence, because you can't confide everything in every fucking body, because not everybody means you well. You have to even look at how you become involved with somebody. If you was a motherfucking jump off and you got with a motherfucker and they knew that's what you were, and you don't know what their real intent for you are. If you knew a motherfucker was out for some money, you don't know what their real intents for you are. And these are the things that make you clam up. If you know a joker was a player and this is what he was like, damn, as a lady, damn well, oh look, I gotta, really vet you before I start really confiding in you and letting you, you know, XYZ. And the same thing, with men. But I'm saying this to say that the world we live in, we have to do more to tighten up on our healing and our patience with one another, because the things that we don't see are these children coming up behind us, and they're dealing with the stuff that they're dealing with. But because there's so much more access to one another, they're having these conversations, and these children are willing to do the things that they need to do to kind of protect each other on certain levels. So, it's a shame where, okay, so where's his mama? Where's his daddy? Who else is there in the house? I mean, the uncle is just there. You know, these are the questions I'm asking. It's like, damn. But we go back to this. The content of the show itself is, honestly, as black men, do we know how to treat a woman or a black woman who submits? You come up with these kind of abuses and atrocities happen to you, shit, you're always going to have some sort of question. So, I don't know, man. Just thought I'd come on here, man, and ask the question. Put a little paint where it ain't. If you're just joining the show, man, the topic tonight is, honestly, do we as black men know what to do or how to treat a woman or black woman who submits. Okay. So that's the question. I mean, I look at it, man, a lot of times, man, we don't know where we come from, and it's getting more diluted and more diluted. We're actually being shit erased and blended into everybody. It's a fucking shame. Fucking shame. We done died, we done planted, we done grew, we done been strange fruit. We've been a whole bunch of shit in this motherfucking country. And it's a shame we can't get our life right because we're that much of a fucking threat. As I said before, we, as the black men, is the most dangerous man in the world. Listen, every fucking race and culture on the face of this earth has disdain for the black man for some fucking reason that I don't know. It's just what it is. Actually, the black man that comes from here. Okay? Now, how they try to clump us all together until those that are our tethers, our cousins, they let it be known. Oh, we're not like them. We're not like them. I'm from this tribe. I'm from that. You know, where the fuck are we from? So you have people that are out here and they believe in the Pan Africanisms and all that bullshit. You know what? It's cool when it's fair, but if these fuckers ain't playing fair, I don't want to buy into that bullshit. I'm from right here. I'm from right here. This is where the fuck I'm from. Yeah, that's the brand I'm buying. And if it was sweet, where you fuck you came from, you wouldn't have float your ass over here. But you come over here, you blend it in, you talk shit, you take shit, you do shit. But then it goes back to when we sit back and we look at the difference in our cultures. A lot of them motherfuckers got it right in their houses. So yeah, they can build. But we come into our houses separated and divided at birth. So we can't get it together because we too busy worrying about, is this bitch real? Or is this nigga real? Or, what are you doing? Or what's she doing? And why the fuck this? And, this, that, and the other. We have that disdain. So there's no real growth and belief and nothing solid. Yeah. Yeah. Listen, bro said, thanks for the real talk, bro. We as men and women need to hear more healing and deliverance conversations. Let's admit that we are tired of fighting and losing at the same time. We must find the common denominator, love and happiness. 100. Hey, that's what it comes down to. Mm. Let me ask you something, fellas. You got this submissive woman, right? She's living with you. You're all together. Y'all building a kingdom and whatever else, right? And let's just say your wife needs some guidance. Your woman needs some spiritual insight. Can she get it from you? Or would she have to skip over you and go to someone else to get it? Hmm. Well, I was taught that the covering of the house is the man. And see, this world is teaching us or teaching our children that that's not so. Bullshit. God hears the man, speaks to the man. The man is the covering of the woman. All right. Listen, I don't know whether you witnessed it or not, but in COVID time and when COVID happened, I guarantee you, I saw so many fucking crazy looking ass women out here because you didn't know, or you gonna be hunkered down in your house with one bottle of water and a bean, a bag of rice, potato chip, and a crowbar, and you can't even change a fucking tire. I guarantee you question whether you should have a man then. And then, you look at it like this. You motherfuckers over 40 and you ain't married and you ain't got nobody, man. It says a lot about what's going on with you. What's happening. You've been living your life. You've been running hard. I, I'm just calling a spade a spade. Oh, this wine's so good. Yeah. Gotta check yourself, man, before you wreck yourself. Can't be all about you. Can't be all about you. And fellas, like I said again, man, there's certain things you need to be there for when it's time. No one's saying being a sucker, man. Be on your square. Know what you know and be a leader. Do you know what being a leader is? Being a leader, it means that you are living and walking in your purpose. You have your shit together. You know how to respond and not respond to things that may be offensive to you. I'm not perfect. Shit, I'm a good old cusser. I'm a tooth chipper. So goddamn it, I'm talking about shit that, sometimes I walk and sometimes I don't. Goddamn it, I got to put it out there. I ain't perfect. Goddamn it, this is what this platform is about. And, prime example, we talk about Kevin Samuels and the shit, the things that he would talk about. I'm talking about this because we need to fucking talk about it to hold each other accountable to be better. It's not to bring anybody down. If you some fucked up rat bastard motherfucker, shit, I still want to pump some love into you. I want to give you this acknowledgement that goddamn king or queen, you got health and strength in your body. You have breath in your body. You can still change it, turn it around. Yeah, if you want to. If you want to. Huh? Huh? You feel me? You got a fupa? You got a gut? You got something going on with you? You want to do something with? You can buy all the motherfucking Billy Blanks, the jump ropes, the weights, the motherfucking Planet Fitness, the LA Fitness, the whatever the gym you go to, whatever that motherfucking business is, you can hire a personal trainer to come to your house. But if you do not set your intentions and make your mind up that this is what you want to do, you will not do it. Same is applicable to your relationships. Sometimes those that you love, you have to give them space and give yourself space to breathe, to reset. You have to allow an individual to, if you are good and your intentions were good, to see that in your absence, to recognize the things that are on the line. Now, I'll say this. Most people, when you talk about life, you have to be able to, you want a big house, you got to afford that shit. You feel me? You got to afford that beyond that. There's a law, there's a rule of 72. There's different rules to, when you talk about things in life. And you have to be willing to invest those things. Fellas, how are you wired? How are you wired? Are you wired so hard that you can't change, that you just believe what you believe and you're going to stand on it? Yeah. Because, ladies, let me say something to you. There's a lot of us out here that believe y'all ain't shit either. Like y'all say, oh, all them ain't shit. Well, a lot of y'all ain't shit either. I did a post the other day about a guy who, and a lot of these, I guess these guys, they tricking off. They doing this online shit. They flying these broads in and expecting things. And, listen, I don't give a shit what you do, even up to the second. No means no. And if she wants to say no to you, nigga, she can say no. But what my other position was, young ladies, if you flying in, for one, you're taking yourself away from your power base and you're putting yourself at the behest of the individual or your host who can very well do some things to you because these folks out here ain't playing about their hard earned. But to stay on topic, are you hardwired to the point where that's what you see in every woman that you're with, that they're not worth the time, that they're not willing to change, that they're not worth your kindness, you're willing to change? Yeah. My brother said, of course she can, only if she truly believe in him as her head, not her tail, of true guidance and committed helper inside of their home. Wisdom, knowledge, and understanding isn't easy to come by in this life or love life. So on point. Yeah. Look, man, I'm talking about the wiring. You know, are you hardwired? Are you hardwired to stay in that lane and coast? But then, ladies, if you find a brother, man, who has the attributes of a leader, and you know it, you know it when you see it. You do. A lot of you do. And he's struggling. Are you willing to be patient with him? Are you willing to minister to him as you would have him minister to you as a leader? Yeah. I will say this. I know, ladies, you respond to leadership, loving leadership, but loving leadership is not always soft either. Sometimes you need that tough talk because there's a greater goal or a greater good as opposed to him appeasing right now how you feel about something. Even the delivery. Sometimes it has to be just as it is, but so that you can recognize or understand the sincerity or the seriousness of whatever that is he's conveying to you. Yeah. I don't know, man. Listen, fellas, ladies, if you're just joining the show, once again, the topic of the evening and the question is honestly, do we as black men know what to do or how to treat a black woman who submits? You know, I can honestly say the majority of us would not know how to treat a woman who submits because we've never seen it. It's just like seeing a man. If we've never seen one, we don't know how to fucking be one. You know, people may say sanctification is purity, but I say bullshit. Sanctification or to sanctify someone is to set it apart from common, ordinary usage and to give it a special purpose to make it holy. You know how you make things holy? Through your righteous act, your righteous acts of love. Do you hear me? Yeah. Listen, you know how screwed up the world has you? If there is a God, and I believe that there's a God, if you're a child of God, what does that make you? What does that make you? It's like your mother and your father. They birth you. You got their traits. You got their nose. You got their hands. You got their walk. You got their talk. You got the. What does that make you? You have the power to do anything. Anything you put your heart and your mind to. A lot of us fuck up because we invite folks around us and in our spaces and places that are not supposed to be going with us anywhere, let alone to the motherfucking moon, to the corner store. Even when we deal with our relationships. Mama ain't supposed to be in your relationships, god damn it. If you cleaving, leave mama and daddy's ass behind and all of the shit that they put on you. It's just that simple. Gotta find somebody who's willing to understand where you came from and be willing to work with you through the change. Yeah. Listen, I like I said, I just came on tonight, man. Put a little paint where it ain't. And if you're just joining the show once again, man, the topic tonight is honestly, do we as black men know what to do or how to treat a black woman who submits? Because we know we walking around, we banging the drum, we beating the drum, we on the drum, we talking about how this ain't happening and that ain't happening, and okay, it happens. Now what? They all submit, and everybody's yeah, yeah, I'm with you, yeah, 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 yeah. Now what? Do you know what to do? Do you know how to sanctify her? Do you know how to keep her? Do you know how to uh, tame your tongue? Do you know how to play the role of the sanctifier? Hmm? Do you? Do you know how to play the role of the protector, the keeper, the provider? Should anybody can go out here and work and make some money and get a job? Huh? Do you? Cleaving. Cleaving is the definition where you become fruit and meat and marrow to a bone. You become one. Yeah. Fellas, man, if you want to see your woman blossom into a loving, responsive mate, the Marshall Ball is in your court. It's all on you, man. A lot of things you have to do. You know, um, it's just you have to unlearn some things that you've learned, and recognizing that there is a level of suffering in your relationship that has to happen. Okay. All right. Here's the thing. When the adage that Eve came from Adam's rib. Okay, picture that. You're walking down the street, and God say, "All right, lay down." You lay down. He open you up and take your rib out, a couple of ribs out, and sew your punk ass back up. And you wake up tomorrow. I promise you, you laying there in that dirt, wake up, you're gonna be in some serious pain. But when you wake up, you got Eve sitting next to you. Hmm. Oh man. Where love is pain. You want submission, motherfucker. You gonna have to work for that. You go, them ribs, that wound, or you gonna have to heal. And the thing is, the funny part about it is, in any real relationship that you're dealing with, and anybody's been married over 20 years or more or so on, they'll tell you they didn't really begin to enjoy the relationship until 5 years in. Because that's when the real commitment 9 times out of 10 began. Like, oh, well, shit, I ain't going nowhere. This is my motherfucker for life. I'm gonna grow old with this some bitch, and that's gonna be that. But if you ask someone about rib injuries, where they had broken ribs and shit like that, 3 to 5 years, boy, they're totally, yeah, not feeling that, and there's no rain, and I get the paint. Come on, man, listen, I'm just putting a little paint where it ain't, man. You got to recognize. It's not going to happen overnight. It takes time to get to the points where you are actually receiving those benefits from the investment of the relationship that you're in. Okay? Yeah. So, man, if you're just joining the show tonight, look, the topic once again is I don't know, man. It's what it is. It's one of those things that makes you say, honestly, do we as black men know what to do or how to treat a woman who submits? Do you know what submission is? To submit to something means that you bow down to its will. You've given up your will to take on something that is not necessarily of you. You're following it. Facts. I'm not gonna tell you nothing wrong, man. All right, listen. Fact check it. Do what you need to do. And if you got any problems or opinions, leave it in the comments. Or you can call this phone right now. Area code 929-322-3971. You got something to say? Phone line is open. Yeah. It's back open. Yeah. Don't play with me. I ain't gonna play with you. Listen, fellas, one of the ways you treat a woman who's willing to submit to you is you have to be willing to nourish. Nourish. Okay? Yeah. You got to do things that, or do the things, or continue to do the things that made her decide I want to deal with you anyway. One of those things is that you got to leave mama and all the shit that you watch your mama do and say, especially if she wasn't doing it with your daddy or a good man that came into her life and got her to submit. Yeah, if you didn't witness that, then hey man, a lot of the shit you getting from mama may make your pimping faulty. Yeah, yeah. Oh, it's time for men to stand on all 10 toes and not break their balls for absolutely nobody. I hear you. Listen, you know, We want the things, or we say we want it. I'm 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 praying for it for all of us as black men and women to have someone, and a lot of times, it may not be for everybody, but shit, you might find someone outside the culture. That's your business. As long as you are getting love or you are loved, and hey, what more can I say? Get it how you get it. Get it out of the mud and pull your truck out of the mud. But I'm talking about my people tonight. Listen, we got to get our shit together because our kids are suffering. Yeah, I'm praying too, bro. Yep. Yeah. Well, you know, as we always do, and yeah, I'm seeing a lot of fools do it. Listen, plagiarism, I guess, is the best form of flattery. You can steal all my shit. Um, as I always say, love on yourself and let people see you loving on yourself so they know how to love you. Okay. Not everybody can afford you. Not everybody can, listen, what they say in growth, or here's what I'm going to say in growth, or to growth. Today's price is not the same price as yesterday's price. Okay. It's what it is. And I'm never for sale. You can't go into Gucci or Louis or any one of those stores and see a for sale sign in the window because the fucking price is the price. But what you may see, there may be an increase in price based on the value and the increase in value. So always picture yourself in that light, that there is no price on me because I'm priceless. So the value may be way too high for you. So you have to deal on the level that you can deal on for you. You can't afford me. Damn, that's dope. Oh, you can't afford me. This is why I say to for myself, and I said it earlier. I come from. I'm not your average. I've seen a lot, done a lot, and God damn it, took a lot to be me. Still does. Yeah, there's been times in my life where I've compromised myself and I've allowed things to be because I see the best in people. But yeah, man, you got to get your game up, get your weight up. You gonna fuck with me on any level. You gonna have to step your shit up. Oh, somebody, hey, this right here, baby. Look, this ain't none of that shit these niggas wearing nowadays. This is heavy. You see the weight on this shit? This is from 1987. Youngblood went and got this. This some real shit. I ain't. This is solid. This ain't none of that hollow shit that clink around, clink clink clink. No, this ain't that. This is heavy. This is heavy, solid. Yeah, I still got my third grade milk money, motherfucker. I'm not that. I gotta talk shit. But anyway, listen. Love on yourself, man. Like no one has ever loved you. Let people see that they love you or see how you love yourself so that they know how to love you. They know where they fall in or not, whether they can afford to love on you. All right. That don't mean go out here and be taking advantage of nobody flying around and, letting you, excuse me, getting flowed in by niggas and ran through, or getting you put on a motherfucking highlight reel, nigga putting you out of hotel or taking you back to an airport. That's not, no, there's no value. You devalued yourself. Valuing yourself is just basically getting you a normal pace in life, whether it's prayer, whether it's your health, whether you're feeding your mind with books and things that you don't know that others know. And you need to get that knowledge so you can make it applicable to your life to be a blessing to yourself and to others around you. Don't concern yourself with what people say because not everybody needs to go where you go. Prime example, I've been DJing on a waterfront since COVID began, right? In a town that I know that would have been dead if it wasn't for black folks' money. Okay. I've been battling these people in court and the city hall and so on and so forth for me to continue to do it. On any given Saturday, I can go down there and have about 300 or 400 people show up and party and dance around where I'm at. I don't do it for the money. Put people come up with the tip. No, I don't do it with the money. Keep your money. I'm out here. That's not how I get my money. I'm doing this because this is what I love to do, and I want something to have for my people. But when I go and pack up my sound system in the motherfucking morning and I offload it and I stroll it down about 4 or 5 blocks from where I park my truck or whatever, and I set up and I play the music. And then when I break that shit down at 11, 12 o'clock at night, and roll that shit back up to my truck and load it in that bitch and then take it back and then offload it and put it in the fucking garage and all that shit, I do that shit by myself. Because not everybody is meant to go where you're going, especially when you're doing something great. And you know the reward of it all is the smiles that I receive from people that are down there because I play some of everything. I came up in an era, and let me say this. Do you know the dopest group of people in the world? And if you're on here tonight, is the Generation Xers. Let me say it again. The dopest people on the face of this earth, right, and the most dangerous people are Generation Xers. Here's why. We were raised by the boomers. We had our own sect where we raised ourselves, and we still got the tail end, or excuse me, the beginning of what the millennials are experiencing right now. And we have the position like dads to play. We can play dumb like we don't know shit because we really don't want to do shit. But we know it all. We've had every aspect. Even when we talk about entertainment and radio, listen, there was a time where you heard everything from fucking Player to Hall & Oates to Parliament to fucking Houdini to Run DMC to Chuck Brown, all on the same station. Now everything is pay for play. Fuck radio. Yeah, I said it. I'll say it again. Fuck radio and what it's become. R&B, they killed R&B. Fucking shame. Now you got people running around talking about, yeah, I'm gonna bring R&B back, man. Fuck you too. You ain't gonna bring it back no more than Man in the fucking Moon. Listen, y'all artists, get busy. You got your own platforms. Make it work. Make it work. Cheers to y'all. But to stay on the topic, honestly, do we as black men know how or what to do and how to treat a black woman that submits? If we don't know, we can figure it the fuck out. And brothers, if you don't know, be willing to have that conversation with that submitting woman. Maybe she can give you some guidance on how to treat her. Because if you see her loving herself, then motherfucker, you know the price. Pay it. If she means that much to you. Yeah. Shout out to Wallow267. Keep using my shit, bro. I know you're watching me. You ain't got to tap in, but it's all right. I love you. Love all that you're doing. And it's just like that. Yeah. Listen, be right back here tomorrow, man. I got another topic for you, man. I'll put it up. I'm gonna roll it off tonight, man. And that way you guys can see it and you can tap it on. And it's an extension of this, but yeah, I'm gonna let it go tonight, man. I truly thank you, man. I thank you all because you all could have been anywhere in the world tonight, but you chose to be here with me and never have so few owed so much to so many. Hey, love yourself. Let people see you loving yourself. And if you don't love yourself, just know I love you. I truly love you. Good night.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, this is it. It's the Romello Marcellus Show. The fly uncle you always wish you had.
Bring 'em out.
Here to give you every aspect of game from a real player's perspective. It's the biggest boss from business, entertainment, love, and life.
Had to find my inner power.
To fashion, etiquette, and current events.
Major show alert.
All to enhance the happiness already inside you.
Today is about the power of you.
Check it out.
You're now rocking with the best.